Hello, good evening, happy Wednesday. This is Live in Conversation. My name is Daphnée Antoine with my lovely co host.
I am Daphnée Camilien. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, to Daphne's in the house. As you all know, Live in Conversation is a show to share information, share resources. Attorney Camilien share current immigration news, and we all about helping families and communities thrive. So, with that being said, we have an amazing lineup for you with a young lady from an organization who are doing amazing things in Haiti. So we want to have her share her story, the organization that she is with, and how we can support the work. But before we do, as always, Attorney Chameleon will be sharing the disclosure with us. Um, and thank you for your patience as we had technical difficulties,
We
but
do.
we are back. All
Yes.
right.
I say we do. So the disclosure is that I am an attorney, and anything I say this evening does not enter anyone into an attorney-client relationship. Renee is a financial entrepreneur. Anything that she says this evening does not enter anybody into any type of fiduciary relationship with her. And the same goes for our guests. Any information that is being spoken tonight is for entertainment and information purposes only.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So, hello again, once again to everyone. We appreciate you joining us live. We see you. We appreciate it. Go ahead and share this live. Um, so that more people can be part of this conversation, and we encourage you to share, like, and comment, so this can actually be a conversation. As always, Attorney Chameleon will share with us current immigration news, so I'm going to pass to her right now. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome.
So I apologize for the lighting. I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm trying to adjust to that. The immigration news tonight is we're going to answer a frequently asked question regarding people who have green cards, and green cards being the same thing as permanent resident cards. They're the same exact thing. Some people call their permanent resident card their green card, and the question is, if their green card expires, do they lose their permanent status in the United States? Right. So the answer to that is no. The permanent your If your green card expires, your permanent status you're still a permanent resident in the United States. It's just the card has expired, but you should renew it as soon as possible. Right now, at USCIS.gov, that's where you get the application to renew it. It is taking anywhere between 10 to 12 months, so about a year, in order to renew it. So if you know that your green card is about to expire, it's highly recommended that at least 6 months before it expires that you apply to renew it. If not having a green card or updated current green card can be a problem for people, and it affects people in different ways. So one way is if you're applying for a job, right? So you apply for the job, you get the job. Now they ask you to fill out the tax forms. Well, they're going to want proof that you can work in the United States and proof of your residency information. So a simple driver's license won't work. You have to show either, your passport. There's a lot of information they ask you, right? So a lot of times they ask you, a green card holder, they ask you for a copy of your green card. If your green card's expired, they're not supposed to accept that. So imagine you got hired September 1st, and you're coming in to fill out your tax papers. You realize your green card is expired. Now you have to, go ahead and try to renew. And like I told you, it's taking about a year to renew. So that causes a problem. There is a possible solution, but that solution can take a couple weeks, and that's getting a stamp in your passport if you have it. it can be troublesome. So it causes a lot of problems not to have it, and you may, trying to solve the problem may take a couple weeks, even a couple months. And if you just got hired a job, they may not wait for you. They may pass. So that can, not having a current green card can make you pass up, have you pass up, great jobs. Another issue with not having a green card, an current green card, excuse me, is if your professional licenses, right? So for some professional jobs, or just jobs that require professional licenses, like if you're a real estate agent, insurance agent, a lawyer, a doctor, lots of jobs provide you to have some type of certification from the state. And if you're in these jobs, a lot they want that ID, right? They want that current status, permanent resident ID, and it has to be current. It can't be expired. So if you're trying to do real estate or insurance, brokerage license, and it's time to, you've done your test and it's time to get your certification, they ask for the ID and it's expired, you're now having to wait a year to do it. The other thing is if you're out of the country and your green card is expired, you won't be able to just come back in the country, right? It's up to the Customs and Border Patrol to allow you to come back or even to board the aircraft, right? With an expired green card. You'd have to get, you'd have to get off and then pay, you lose that ticket and then have to pay expensive what they call re-entry fees in order to, and that's, you have to fill out an application. The person in the U.S. most likely is probably you're gonna have to get someone in the U.S. to help you, and then go ahead and send that information, or I guess you can do it from the country you're in. Go to immigration, the embassy, where U.S. embassy in the country that you're at, and they have to process it. They can take 5 to 10, 7 days to process it, and then allow you to travel back. So it's can be very costly if you're in another country and you have an expired green card. One of the last things that's might seem minor, but that affects most people, is an ID card, right? So a driver's license, state ID, or as most of the country is going to be going soon in 2023 to real IDs, right? And so if you don't have, if you don't have a current green card, you're not going to be able to renew your driver's license. It will stop you from, because they ask for ID, right? It will stop you from getting your state ID, and then real ID is coming, and I'm going to do a video on real ID again because I believe I've done it before, but I'll do it again as we're nearing the time frame when real ID is going to start going into effect. You're going to need this specialized real ID that everyone's going to have to get, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen, and it's you to travel. So if you want to go from like if I want to go on a plane from Chicago, where we're located, to California, we're going to have to, there's going to come a time we're going to have to show a real ID. And in order to get a real ID, so our driver's license will not be enough, or a state ID will not be enough. When you go to the ticket counter, you're going to need a real ID. And in order to get the real ID, you need to show a current green card. And remember, like I told you, it's taking about a year, 10 to 12 months to go ahead and renew. So this is something that could, and that affects everybody. A lot of things we do, we need IDs. You go to the hospital, you go to the doctor's office, you're in school, you're trying to get a loan. That's the other thing that it can affect having a current green card. Trying to get buy a house and you need a loan. So having a current green card, not having your green card current, can have a lot of effects on everybody's life. But probably the most common that I think would hit most people is just the general ID card, how not having a current green card could affect that. Back to you, Daphnée. You're on mute.
All right. Well, thank you for that information. As always, you're here to update us about all the immigration news. And while this is information, it is important for people to know because at the end of the day, it can be costly to renew um your green card, and then so plan ahead for that. So don't let it just expire on you, so that you don't have any of those issues that attorney Camilien just mentioned. And if you can do it by yourself, go ahead and do that. But if you need someone in your corner who can help you get it done, attorney Camilien is a great resource. So you can reach out to her at 847-410-9022, and her website is chameleonlaw.com. So once again, welcome to all of you who are joining us live in conversation. We have an amazing guest interview for you all this evening. So connect any person you know who cares about all things Haitian, or all things Haiti, or who want to support Haitian families. Because the guest that we have this evening is going to actually share with us the amazing thing that her and her organization are doing, have been doing, and will continue to do in Haiti. I did promise to share one resource with you all in regards to business development. And so I'm just going to quickly share it and then get to our guests this evening. And so if you, I should go solo, right? I always
Mhm.
forget.
Mhm.
Hello, once again. My name is Daphnée Antoine, and my goal is to share information to help families and business thrive. So, if you are a business owner or you are considering starting a business, I'm just going to share this amazing resource with. I want to say Chicago only, but you never know. Maybe they have different chapter in other states. But score.org is a great organization that's there to help entrepreneurs thrive in their businesses. So, meaning that if you have a small business and you want somebody on your side who can help guide you so that you can be effective, profitable, and basically speed up your learning curve, score.org, it is in Chicago, serving 9 locations in Cook County. So for those of us in the Chicagoland area, I encourage you to visit chicago.score.org. So they do have 3 upcoming workshops or networking opportunities. And then it's also good not to just be in business by yourself, connect with other people, learn from other people. And then so as you all can see, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, they do have a develop an effective business plan. So maybe you are on the early stage of your business planning, or maybe you already in business and you want to really, you've never had a business plan, or maybe you want to revamp your business plan, it is a great workshop to attend. So you can either do a live event or you can also do it online. So the second opportunity is maybe you do not want to start a business from scratch. Maybe you want to be part of a franchise. So this workshop on August 31st is gonna basically help you understand what does it mean, and kind of like what does the tools and the information that you need to become a franchisee. And last but not least, on September 31st, they will have an in-person networking mixer. So that's basically connecting with other business owners. They're always gonna be mentors as well. So people you can connect with to guide you along in your entrepreneurial journey. So once again, this organization is score.org. Is score, and then the website is chicagoscore.org. So I encourage you to take advantage of it. It is free. The mixer is $25. And I'm pretty sure they only did that so they can make sure people are coming who says they are coming, because they will have maybe light refreshments. But at the end of the day, it's good to invest in yourself, invest in your business. And that's basically the resource that I'm sharing for today. And here is the moment we've all been waiting for. Uh, so I had the privilege of connecting with this organization. I would say maybe last month or the month before, Daphnée Camilien.
Yeah.
And then so the organization is called Lakou. And so I want to say, so Lakou is basically, I want to say neighborhood, but it's really like neighborhood. It's like the playground or something like that. So like in the community where kids play at, we would call it Lakou, or we could be. There's so many different interpretation. but I'm gonna say either playground or community, but it's like it's a gathering place. Okay. So that being said, this organization named Lakou is in Haiti doing amazing work, helping families thrive, empowering them with the training, tools, and resources to be contributing citizen, and to be self-sufficient. Because at the end of the day, this is what Haiti need: people who can help, or organization who can help empower them with the tools to thrive. And this is what Krystle Watkins is part of Lakou.org. She is the communication coordinator. And here is Krystle Watkins.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Hi.
hello. Thank you for
Kijong.
Oh.
coming again. Good evening. Happy to see you.
I love it. Kijon, yeah.
Oh, Papli man, but today, no.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm putting all my Creole on you, so you better
See,
get
y'all.
ready.
Duzma. I only know a little bit. Y'all got. I picked up a few things.
Love it.
Okay, ça
Love it.
passe.
Nabule.
There
Now,
we
bullet.
go.
All right, all right. So before we start, how about you officially introduce yourself
Yes.
and let us know who you are and what is Lakou?
Yeah, I'm Krystle Watkins, and I'm the communications coordinator for Lakou on the state side. And so Lakou is an organization that teaches construction training to Haitian citizens so that they can fortify their communities, and also garner job opportunities with the new skills that they have learned. Very practical. They teach disaster resilient training to Haitians so that they can take care of their communities, and then they take those skills and create opportunities for themselves.
Sweet, short, and straight to the point. We appreciate it, and it's basically what it is. And so we know that you officially become a Haitian citizen. Was it this month or last month? I don't
It
know.
was it was the
Okay. No, I'm
it
kidding.
was the end of July. I had the privilege to spend a week in Haiti to celebrate our participants, our first certification ceremony of our participants. And it was amazing. I went down there mainly for two reasons. One is that Lene and Randy, the founders of the organization, they really feel that you need to know Haiti to advocate for Haiti, and so they always want their members to get there and see it for themselves. So that was one, and then two, to also cover the event, capture the imagery, and tell the story to our audience back here in the stateside. Um, so that's what I went down there for, and I fell in love with Haiti, y'all. I love Haiti. Repping Haiti. So many things about it I loved. It. I had no I didn't go into it with any thoughts. I hadn't researched anything about Haiti. I knew nothing about Haiti when I went there. So everything that I'm enjoyed about it was raw. It was firsthand. It wasn't, you know, nothing had persuaded me. It was just from all first experience. And this was actually my first time out of the country.
Wow.
Yeah, this is my first country I've ever been to was Haiti, and I can't wait to go back. Yeah.
All right, all right. And Antoine, Camilien, obviously feel free to jump in. I do want to say you mentioned celebration, so talk to us about exactly what is a celebration, what it took to get there, and how do you feel about kind of like the accomplishments.
Man, to see it all come together. So, like we said before, Randy, who's the founder, he's been working in construction all his life. God put it in his heart to go to Haiti, move to Haiti, um, and teach construction to these guys. So he had been working with a few of these guys for a while. And then once Lakou became certified, these guys started doing certified construction training. They would work their regular jobs during the day, and then they would come to class for like 3 hours to learn more construction training, and then put those skills to work on like on the job training projects that Randy would have for them around Haiti. And so the end of July, we celebrated that. They finished their first round of curriculum, and they have been, they were certified and presented a certificate of completion for their first level, and now they're moving on to the second level. And they were, their family, their friends were invited out, community leaders came out, and they saw these handsome young men dressed in their suits. And at one point, they even had their hard hats on with their suits. It was a sight. And just stand up there in front of their family and friends and get praised, and people to see, like, man, like, this is legit. This is real. And community leaders seeing them. And I can say from that, people have already started trusting Lakou to do even more projects. I just spoke with Randy today where he was saying, like, we're out looking for more participants because we got more projects coming to us. People are like, hey, I want to hire your people. I want to hire your team. And that's what this is all about, getting these guys employed and also creating structures in Haiti that, you know, will withstand earthquakes and hurricanes and natural disasters, you know, based on the proper construction technique. So it's working.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me this, because um what okay, so I don't know if you said exactly what part of Haiti that you went to, what was your journey, because a lot of times people, you know, we're hearing about Haiti in the news and protests right now, gang violence. So tell me, like, what was your journey? Like, you flew into where did you end up, all of that?
Yeah, we ended up in Lakai. That's where the Lakou is located, by way of Port-au-Prince. My flight was smooth. Left Florida, flew into Port-au-Prince. We had a layover in Port-au-Prince at one of the hotels there, and then the next morning we hopped on sunrise flight, and it took us to Lakai, and then we stayed there the whole time. We heard of, like, the next day we had heard of some things happening in Port-au-Prince. Our team there did tell us, you know, normally we flew in on the weekend, so they said normally the protests aren't as, you know, heavy on the weekends because people are kind of taking it slow, and, you know, not too much activities going on that time. In La Caz, there's nothing really going on. It was more centered in Port-au-Prince. Um, so we didn't run into any of that while we were there. We didn't see anything.
So what was okay? So while, which is great, right? Like, so it just goes to show, and that's very similar to, when I say similar to the reputation of uh, Chicago, is that, you know, you touch into Chicago and you're gonna get shot. But unfortunately, it, you know, there is areas that are not the greatest, um, and you know, so you can be
Like
in
everywhere.
like everywhere, but you can, but un, unfortunately, we have a bad reputation, and I was gonna say that's the similarity with Haiti having that reputation. So people with what's in the news, because you say Chicago now, and everyone's like, ah, you know, but it's where you're at, you know. And so I say that to say, so you had the Lakai experience, and so what was like the best part of the trip, and what was maybe not so much the best part of the trip?
Honestly, the worst, I'll start with the worst part. The
Okay.
worst part is the mosquitoes.
they
Hands
ate
down.
you up.
Oh my goodness, guys. Y'all have no idea. The mosquitoes is absolutely the worst part. And that's the only thing I could say is that was the worst part for me. That was it. The best part was everything. If I'm gonna really be just Krystle, the best part is pickles.
The food,
The
the
food.
food, the food.
The food is amazing. It's I mean, it's the best food out of all that I've tasted, and that's on everything. And I love to eat, and I'm a soul food girl as well, and I loved it. Um, but the people too, and it what was interesting also was that so many people just assumed that I was Haitian.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
So they would just come up and start speaking. Like they would see me with Lene, and Lene's Caucasian. So they just assumed she didn't speak it. So they would come and try to speak to me, and I would just I
Like, let
just
me
smile
speak
at them.
Creole, not
And I'm
me.
like, like Papa Parle Creole. And they would, and the look they would give me was like, what?
Wow.
I'm like, Parle Anglais, So it was a lot of people like, what? You're not Haitian? That was kind of interesting. I was wondering what was going through their head, seeing somebody, because I look like everyone else,
Right.
Hmm.
and what was going through their head when they're like, wait a minute, what? And so it's like they would get intrigued, and there would just be this moment of us staring at each other like, yeah. But everybody was so welcoming. And I just, once I got into it, one of the universal languages though was music. So when music started going on, and when that soul thing that we all just have, that ended up it didn't matter if he was Haitian, American, it didn't matter at that point. Like we were just having a good time. But everybody was so welcoming. It was amazing.
You mentioned pickles, so to the audience member who do not know what pickles is, do you mind explaining it?
I'm gonna explain how it looks to me, or how it is to me. It to me it seems like y'all's version of coleslaw,
Mm-hmm. It's a spicy version.
spicy version of coleslaw.
That's how I
But
always explain
I,
it.
you know what? It's funny you said that. I wouldn't. You know why I wouldn't call it coleslaw? Well,
It
because
was not cold.
I'm not. No, it's yeah. Well, the thing too is I'm not a let me start off by saying I am not a coleslaw fan, but I do like pickles. But coleslaw to me feels like a complete like side dish, versus pickles to me is like you put it on top of your meat. You put it on top. It's like a garnish, very
Mm.
spicy garnish that tastes delicious. But as far as having the cabbage and having kind of like the vinegar and cabbage and also I
right,
could see 100% the comparison to the coleslaw. So you enjoyed your pickles.
I enjoyed it so much. There was so much food that I enjoyed. The macaroni and cheese, hands down, one of the best macaroni and cheeses that I've had, and I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, good.
It was amazing. And then they made so many different types of chickens that was just falling off the bone. It was just the food was just so good. It was out of this world. And
Good.
beet salad. I was not expecting beets to be like a thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
And I think
And
that's
Haitian coffee. What in the world? It was like the best thing I had drank. I was like, this is
it's
crazy.
strong.
It's so strong. But it's pure. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, like now you're talking about food, and I lost my train of thought. Like, you
Well,
mentioned
no.
coffee, it's like I'm done. uh, but you did send me some pictures about your trip, and so I'm just gonna show them, and then maybe you explain to us exactly what's going on there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, and in the meantime, as I'm sharing this, Daphne, if you have a question, feel free to uh,
Sure.
share.
You mentioned a little bit about how you didn't want to form an advanced opinion, so you went in cold. So did you do? I'm not sure if you know, and it's not necessarily trying to put you on the spot, but a little bit about like the significance of Haiti, because the world, especially as an African American coming in, and I say this too as a person who is Haitian American, born and raised in the United States, and is, as I often call, straddling both worlds. So the history, as far as like being the first Black republic, being the first country to, gain their independence from slavery, and as a result, since then, the world has this campaign against Haiti to, love to mention them being a poor country, et cetera, et cetera, just as a punishment for freeing themselves.
Mm.
So it's a loaded statement in the beginning, but I'm saying that to ask you, um, did you think about that, or did you think about it afterwards, or am I just bringing kind of refreshing everything? Because Haiti is significant, the location, everything, but the people are resilient. We're in the news all the time. So, and it's an interesting place to go to. So, I was just wondering your thoughts as an African American going to Haiti.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I didn't know. I knew kind of the history of Haiti about the revolution,
Mm-hmm.
because I learned that some years ago, just studying, the diaspora. But I did all my studying when I got back,
Mm.
and that because I met so many people. Like once I got to know these people, and I started to see, like, one thing I truly loved about Haiti is that it felt like it's y'all's. Like, this is Haitians though. Like, whatever's going on, it has its things, it has its ups, it has its downs, but it belonged to the people, and I loved that
Mm.
part because it's like that also gives y'all so much potential. It's untouched. It's like this is just Haitian style. This is how we do it. There's no outside influence. And I just, as an African American person, I really did love that because I never felt out of place. Sometimes back home, we know sometimes we feel like we're not in a safe space, or we have to code switch, or something like that, just to make it in our world and in our environment. And I never felt like that. I felt like Haitians were 100% them because everybody you knew looked like you and act like you, and it just all felt comfortable. And I envied that. So when I came back, that was one of the things. I'm looking at these people, and they're, first of all, they're so crafty and resilient. They get up every day. They're out here hustling. They're out here getting it done, with a smile on their face still. I mean, I met so many people that were so friendly and out here getting it done. And I was like, man, I'm over here taking stuff for granted and being lazy back home. So I was like, we got to get up and go. So once I did my research, when I got back home, and I was like, man, this is the Black power that we try to embrace and that we celebrate here in the States. That's the whole country. That's the whole entire country of Haiti over there. And they've been doing this way longer than we have. And I've been telling all my friends, like, African Americans and Haitians, we gotta help. We gotta connect. There's so many opportunities. More of us need to go over there, connect, see what's going on. It could be big. I mean, I see so much potential with that. Um, because a lot of the things that I see within our community here, I see that over there, but the whole entire country. So I was like, if we can get it over here, we can help them get it over there. It's no problem. So that's another reason why I can't wait to go back, because the connections have been real, and it's inspirational.
I love it. Love it. Love it. So, you were going to show pictures, Daphnée? Sorry. Get on my soapbox about the revolution. Okay.
I know, right? Yeah, so these are our you see all these handsome men, these are
Yeah.
our
Okay.
participants. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, girl.
These are the participants. We had, I believe, 26 participants graduated. Um or got certified. And yeah, they all had to wear their suits. They wanted to wear the jackets. They were all about it. And the blue ties to represent our other side of the organization, which is IGSA, which is where all the jobs and stuff come from. Um, and so, yeah, so the blue represents that. But they also sang a song. If any of you want to check that out, you can go to the Lakou Facebook page, or Lakou on YouTube, and the video is there. One of our old organizational members wrote a song for the graduation, and the guys performed it, and it was awesome. And at the end, they all put their hard hats on while they were in their suits. It was amazing. It was so amazing. But yes, these are our certification participants here.
It's a great picture.
These are a few of the team members, well, at the Lakou house, on the compound, and the one in the middle, that's Joel. Pepe, and my counterpart, the communications coordinator in Haiti, that's Buckman. So Buckman does a lot of the photographs, like beautiful Haiti photographs that y'all see on our page. He takes all those. He's a great photographer. And this is one of the job sites that we're working on currently. So I actually got to see the guys in action doing their thing. And it was amazing. They're building a storage equipment building for an organization that's in Haiti. They mix the concrete that they use, they mix it there on the site and then wheel it over and then lift it up a pulley, pour it out. They're stacking these things, they're bending rebar, they're cutting blocks. I mean, they're doing it, guys. It was amazing to see. And I'm just seeing a bunch of bricks stacked up, and I was like, so this is going to be a building one day. They're like, they know what they're doing. So that's my favorite dish, as you can see in the middle. Had to take a picture. That's some of the food that they had at the that they had at the event. And the ladies cooked. So one of the ladies, Stephanie, and some of the ladies that work with her, they are part of Lakou as well, and they cook meals and lunch for the guys each day that they're at work. Home cooked, fresh meals each day. They were eating good down there, guys.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, Daphnée. I know you.
This whole time, yes. So Tony Camilien, see, I wouldn't call pickles garnish because, as you can see, the green pepper on this pickles is the garnish. And so the pickles is actually.
We listen. We gonna fight because I have never in my life seen somebody eat a plate of pickles. Okay, I have seen people eat pickles with meat and like together.
No, well, you should have saw me. Literally,
Yeah, exactly. I've seen people do that.
I had like a whole thing of banana, like the fried plantains, bananas, and just pickles, and that's it.
That's all you ate. But you ate them together, right?
I mean, I ate it like,
Yeah.
Put a little on the thing, yeah. But
see,
it was,
that's what I'm saying. Okay, we gonna
side dish.
So that's Brandy and Lene. Those are the founders, Brandy, Lene, and Buckman and I. This is in Port-au-Prince. This is why we had a little layover. But yeah.
So Wendy and Lene are the
founders of Lakou, yes. And Brandy is actually still in Haiti at the moment right now.
Oh, Lene's back?
Lene came back with me. She flew back with me, so I didn't fly alone.
I thought you were only one back. I could have had Lene as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she's back, but she's moving. She's all over the place right now. Okay. So yeah, but I did ask her, did she want to come in too? Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I see you.
And that's what we were getting ready to leave. We were getting ready to leave Port-au-Prince. That's on the airstrip to get on the Sunrise airplane. But the mountains in the back, man. And I learned that Haiti means the land of mountains. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's fitting because I was like, oh, it's nothing but mountains here. Everywhere. It's beautiful.
It's qualified.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's
now, talk to us about what's next for Lakou and how people can support the amazing things that you all are doing.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to, before my time is up, I just want to first say thank you guys for supporting us, helping us. Y'all have done so much, even having us back on the show. We really appreciate you ladies. We talk about you guys all the time, and hopefully we can get you to live from Haiti. We'll get you down there with us. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do it. We're going to set it up. But yeah, so right now, Lakou we have a lot of things going on. We have our summer appeal that is happening right now. We are getting ready to usher in a new class of participants. And that class that just got certified is moving up to the next level of certification. So that means we have to develop an extensive curriculum and get some more upgraded equipment so that these guys can up their skills and their training. And that is what our summer appeal is for, to help raise money for this new curriculum and the equipment needed. So if anybody would love to donate or learn more about the summer appeal, you can go to our Facebook page, just type in Lakou, you can't miss it. You can also go to lakou.org, and all the information is there, and we would appreciate any support. Any amount would help. Guys, I'll tell you again, this is working. It's working. It's in action. And also we have 2 jobs going on as we speak. These guys are down there working because people have now gotten to see the guys in action. We're actually getting jobs on a larger scale. We're getting more commercial construction buildings, which means bigger equipment, more safety, more regulations, and these guys can handle it. But we are recruiting more participants because we need more hands, because that's the type of work that's going on. So it's working. Haitians are doing it themselves and getting the jobs and doing the work. And so that is what we currently have going on. And if anybody feels, again, if you feel like you want to support, if you want to learn more about Lakou, you can visit our face. Please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. You can see more imagery and stay up to date on what we have going on. You can sign up for our newsletter at lakou.org. And if you have any questions, you can always message me as well.
Can you spell Lakou for the people?
Yes, yeah. It's LAKOU.org.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming and for sharing. And so you said you wanted to go back, and so now have you? I love to travel, and you started off your travel adventures, out of the country adventures, with the bank. So have you getting bitten with the bug? And if so, where's your next trip?
That's a good question. I thought about that. I'm not bitten with the bug.
I love it.
I am not. I loved Haiti because it was mission driven.
Mm-hmm.
I had a purpose. You gotta have a purpose to go through immigration and stand in those lines and have everything checked. I have to have a mission. So if I have a mission driven trip, I'm on my way. I'm not afraid to leave the country anymore. That was a thing for me as well. I'm not afraid to experience other cultures. That was a thing. It was fun. Speaking different language, testing out my skills, learning something new. So I'm all about that. But for vacation or something, no, I can. I'm good in the States. I'll go back to Chicago and see y'all.
It's just the beginning. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. Daphnée, I think you're on mute.
But yes, this video here is actually the site of the pictures that y'all saw. They're finishing up the storage unit. So this is the guys at work.
Wow.
Yeah, and they do it all, guys. When I tell you they are doing it all. And they learned this in that course. They are certified now. These are legit guys.
Do they do residential properties too?
They don't. They focus more on commercial buildings and commercial projects. I mean, once they have the skills, though, if some of the guys want to go out and start their own things, they certainly can. And that was one of the things that was very present in Haiti, was still a lot of damage from the earthquake. And we actually did a piece to commemorate those who lost their lives. And our guys told, Buckman was there. They were there that day, and they told the story of how they ran out to help people, and because Lakou had the tools and because they had the skills, they were able to save people's lives, to cut through that concrete. And they just spent night and day beside rescue teams, helping to save people's lives that day on August 14th. So we have a story about it if you want to, if anybody wants to check it out, of them telling their story of what happened that day. It's on lakou.org as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Mhm. Yeah, it was I mean, it was just crazy to hear how they ran out and what they had to do. And again, back to what you were saying, and the resilience and the fight that Haitians have every day was so inspiring, and it made me want to come back and do more. Um, and yeah, every place, like we said at the beginning of the show, every place has their battles, every place has their struggles. I didn't face any of that, but when I got back, I hear other things from my team about what's going on. So Haiti has its things it has to go through, but it is not the place that people paint it out to be. And the people are amazing. It's definitely a place that I encourage folks to get to if they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you once again. So this is the website I'm showing, lakou.org.
Yes.
And so these are the programs: construction, education and training, job creation, community engagement. And so the work shows for itself. And this is the place where you can help make a difference by donating. This is not charity, as you can see. This is basically helping provide the training and tools for Haitians to have the expertise that they need to create their own job opportunities. So we encourage you to visit lakou.org so you can be part of this amazing, amazing organization. Any last thought before we wrap it up?
No,
No, just once again, thank you for coming and sharing your experiences of visiting Haiti.
no, thank you. Merci. Merci en pile.
Merci, merci René, merci Randy, merci Krystle, merci tout le monde dans la cour qui a fait un grand travail. Je connais un pile dans nous pour regarder show. Salut nous toutes, nom c'est Daphnée Antoine, moi dans Chicago. Et on joue quand même dans rencontrer. Dit nous bon travail, continuez travail là, bon Dieu béni nous. I was just basically saying hi to the people in Haiti. I'm sure it's going to be watching the program later on, letting them know to do a good job, continue to work, uh, and hopefully we will connect. So, with that being said, this has been Live in Conversation. My name is Daphnée Antoine. Attorney Camilien and I are live every Wednesday to share information to help families thrive, whether that be current immigration news, um, or like I just shared some business development opportunities. So I mentioned score.org, chicago.score.org. So if you are an entrepreneur and you want to get the knowledge and skills that you need to, I guess, be have a profitable business, connect with Score. The website is Chicago period score.org, and I'll put in the comment as well. Earlier today, if you are just joining us, Attorney Camilien explained to us kind of like what does it mean when you have a green card that expires. And her and I had this question for her too, because I thought when your green card expires, it's basically your status is terminated. And she mentioned that it is not. It's just your green card expires, and then you have to renew it. But then if you let it expire, then there's so many different problems that you can have, from not being able to travel to not being able to fill a job application. And so there's so many hindrances with having an expired green card. So go ahead and take that knowledge. Don't let your green card expire. And if it does, find a way to renew it yourself. And if you need help renewing it, Tony Camilien is a great resource. So you can connect with her at 847-410-9022. 847-410-9022. And her website is chameleonlaw.com. I had a moment. I'm sorry, y'all. So with that being said, the past 2 months, we've had real estate series. So if you haven't seen those, go ahead. There's a lot of information, great knowledge from people who are thriving in the real estate industry who will share the knowledge with us. So go back and watch those. And then with that being said, even before we did this, my husband, James Antoine, he was encouraging me to be part of the real estate industry, to be an agent. And then after listening to those ladies and gentlemen, I got the real estate bug. So I officially enrolled in a real estate class. So in maybe 6 weeks, I will be ready to help you all with your home ownership ventures. So I will have Krystle give the last word and sign us out. How does that sound?
Oh, okay. Well, thanks everyone for your continued support. Lakou is completely grateful. And on behalf of all of our team, merci.
Merci. Merci, Anthony Camilien. Merci, Krystle.
Merci.
Merci, Daphnée. Camilien. Merci, René. Merci, Ranzi. Merci, tout le monde. Bonne nuit. Au revoir.
Bon nuit.
Good night.
Good night.